Yo, you already know who the fuck it is. Asharenu, we back in this bitch. Once again. So y'all already know. What's up? What's good, bro? What's good? What's good? You already know how we getting down, so let's get straight to it. But we're gonna give it a few minutes for people to come in before I start going in heavy. But in the meantime, let me start it off. So obviously we're in the second day of Ramadan, right? So the only thing I've really been eating as far as food is concerned, physical matter, is maybe like a banana. So like in the past 2 days, I probably had maybe 2 bananas. And dry bananas at that, not even the regular bananas, the dried joints. My energy levels is up and down, you know. My energy is at its height in the nighttime, not necessarily because I'm eating, because again, you fast from sun up to sundown. So most people, once the sun go down, they start going in, eating full-course meals and all that. No problem. But for me, I want to take it a step further. Yeah, see, it's a special energy about the night. It's a special energy if you're tuned in. As I'm saying over and over and over again, if you're tuned in to the voice of wisdom, then the nighttime is the best time for you. But if you're not tuned in, then right, that's why most people they're either trying to go to work, go home, they're trying to get to their destination and get inside somewhere. They're not coming outside and exploring nature, especially out here in Vegas, out here in the desert. You barely even see people at night. People don't come outside. Now I'm not talking about downtown or the strip, where the money is. But other than that, at night you just don't see people, and you barely see people in the daytime as well because it be so hot. So you can go a long time without even seeing people. And I'm talking about physical people. Of course, you're seeing cars going by, but that's neither here nor there. But let's get to the video. I want to address a couple things. Not going to take too long. But this video is called The Purge. The Science of the Human Body, or something around there. Because I do the titles. Then I do the videos maybe 30 minutes, an hour later after I title it. So I don't even be remembering what I put word for word at times. But I know it's something along the lines of The Purge. The Secret or the Science of the Human Body. Somewhere along those lines. Now let me explain what I'm talking about. Because we're in a capitalistic society, let me make myself very clear. Because we're in a capitalistic society, the truth is forever hidden because it doesn't make money. Let me say that again. Because we're in a capitalistic society, the truth does not generate money. Therefore, everyone is going to tell you that you need everything else but yourself. In other words, you're going to always have people trying to sell you something when it comes to your spirituality. Whether people are trying to sell crystals, trying to sell herbs, trying to sell whatever spiritual tools that we feel are spiritual tools. But at the same time, we know the famous saying, man, know thyself. It don't say man, have mastery over spiritual tools. Because the most profound spiritual tool that we have access to is, of course, our mind. Not crystals, not wands, not herbs, not colors, None of this, all these things are secondary. But because we're in a capitalistic society, people aren't concerned with your spiritual evolution. They're just trying to make money. They're trying to make a living. You know what I mean? They're not really concerned about what it's going to actually do for you. Now, again, this does not mean that spiritual tools are negative or bad. They are just tools. That's the point. But because, once again, we are in a capitalistic society, these tools are placed in the forefront and the real science is pushed to the back. Why? Because the real science does not generate money. The real science does not generate money. You don't generate money when you tell people about urine therapy. That doesn't generate money, meaning you have the fountain of youth already within you. That's why you don't hear people talking about it, because it doesn't generate money. That's not putting money in their pocket, so they're not going to talk about it. But they're going to talk about everything else spiritual. But they won't talk about that and various other sciences that don't have anything to do with nothing outside of yourself. So people know. So this knowledge isn't really hidden. Anybody can do a Google search and find out whatever they want to find out. But if it isn't for their benefit, what's up, Dizzy? If it isn't for their benefit, they're not going to tell you. Once again, urine therapy. I've talked about urine therapy for years. You also see that I don't sell products, physical products. You know, I offer the natal charts, the numerology charts, so on and so forth. But you don't see me selling physical tools. You don't see me selling t-shirts. You don't see me selling merchandise, because I don't have to. Or more importantly, it's not even that I don't have to, it's just that I choose not to, because I'm like, I want to just reveal the real science. I'm not concerned about how fat is going to make my personal pockets. Now, trust me, if I wanted to sell these things, I can fatten my pockets if I wanted to. But I'd rather tell you about the real science, which is unpopular, which most people are afraid to even delve into. Most people are afraid to delve into it because it's the complete opposite of what they think spirituality is. People don't associate spirituality with urine therapy. They look at it as disgusting. But the reason why you look at it as disgusting is because it's real. And again, from somebody who has personal experience with it, not somebody who just read a book or taking somebody else's word for it, somebody who has personal experience, I understand why this is. Because the real science is pushed to the back. So everybody's like, all right, let's start these spiritual shops. Let's sell all these spiritual items. But they will never reveal the real science because it does not make them money. And if it does not make them money, they will not speak about it. Therefore, the second point that I want to hit on, again, I don't want to be on here too long. We can go in, I've already been on here 10 minutes. Again, this don't need to take an hour. I just want to say a couple points and get up out of here. The second point I want to hit on is, mind your fucking business. What do I mean by that? If you look anywhere, again, I don't want to mention names, but you can put whatever name you want to put there. It's like most people are trying to expose people. In other words, let me phrase it like this. Let's just say any popular person, online or offline, there's going to always be some type of video or some type of thought or some type of back talk, some type of slander, some type of backbiting about what they're actually doing in their personal life. So for example, we'd just say a pastor. Let's say a pastor of a church. He's a pastor, he's married, whatever, whatever. But let's just say he's fucking his congregation. He got holes in the church. That's giving it up. That's giving up the goods. Once people become abreast of that, that starts a lot of back talking within the church, a lot of slander, a lot of backbiting, and eventually somebody's going to feel the need to expose the truth. Well, we need to tell people what's really going on. You need to shut your fucking mouth. Stay out of people's personal lives. That has nothing to do with you or your spirituality. And if you don't agree with some type of practices and whatever type of organization or wherever you are, then separate yourself. But people don't do that. They don't just walk away. They walk away, but they want to expose the so-called truth beforehand. Oh, I got to let people know what's really going on. No, you don't. It's none of your business. It is none of your fucking business. There's no need to expose any personal information about anybody. Because why we all have our own dirt, do we not? None of us are perfect. Everybody has did some stupid ass shit and some stuff that they probably wouldn't do now that they have grown older and they have acquired more wisdom. Right? So I'm saying this to say, mind your fucking business. Do not waste your time trying to expose or care to even watch or listen to gossip. Don't even expose yourself to that frequency because it's none of your business. It has nothing to do with your spirituality. What does it become? Entertainment. It just becomes entertainment. You got people who will watch through a whole hour-long video or have a whole conversation about another person for hours at a time. And it has nothing to do with their personal life. Talking about somebody else for hours at a time. What they think is really going on, what they think is really happening when it has nothing to do with them. This becomes an ultimate distraction because once again, the society we live in is based in technology. What is technology? For those who need a definition to what that is, you can say anything that puts you against yourself. What do I mean by that? Anything that has you over there when you're supposed to be right here. You can't be right here bad talking the next person. You can't do it. You can't be about yourself, your spirituality, knowledge of yourself, speaking ill about the next person. It doesn't add up. True spirituality is about you. It isn't about exposing somebody else because you feel that they're not doing things justly. It's just not your place to expose the so-called truth, which is not really truth at all. Because again, we understand we are in a capitalistic society. We are not in a society based on morals and ethics. Let's just be real. Let's take this to the next level. Just because, let's just say, a person is qualified for a position does not mean that they're qualified spiritually, for a position. What do I mean by that? Anybody can go to school and get a degree and be qualified or go to a trade school, get a trade. Anybody, as long as you got the paper, as long as you got the money, you can get certified to do whatever you want. You don't have to be a moral person. You don't have to be a person on a straight and narrow path. If you got the money, you can get certified to do whatever you want. You can open up whatever business you want to. It has nothing to do with who you are as a person, which is why there is so much corruption. Because everybody who's in positions of power didn't get there because they're just so-called good people. It's just that they are qualified for the position because they put in the training. They are trained to be in whatever position they're in. It's nothing to do with who they are as a person, because who they are as a person is probably an idiot. That's why, you know what I mean, how many times do you hear about people having problems with their boss, with their manager, with their supervisor? You probably have that at every business. Oh, the supervisor's an asshole, the manager is an asshole, the boss is an asshole. You're absolutely right. Because they're not the supervisor, they're not the manager, they're not the owner because that they're the most moralistic person. They're there because they're qualified to be there, because they were trained to be there and they was placed in position. It has nothing to do with who they are as a person. So I'm saying this to say, because of these elements, I'll just call it elements. This is why there's so much corruption in the world. Because people are not in positions of power because of who they are. It's because they're qualified to be it, because they were trained. Therefore, every day they're going to give you hell. Because that's who they are. They are hell raisers. Their specific job is to keep their foot up your ass. That's what they're there to do. They're not there to be your spiritual advisor. They're not there to be fair and just with you. They're there to keep you unbalanced. Because that's the issue most people have, right? They either say they don't have time for their spirituality, or they don't have the energy. Because all their energy was drained from the workplace or dealing with particular people, whatever the case may be. So I'm saying that to say, we have to know where we are. And we have to know how the rules of the game is played, which is basically keep your mind up here. Fuck this outside reality because it ain't built on truth. We know this already. How? I don't need to tell anybody that. You just do the history of this country and you will see what the deal is. I don't need to tell you that. That should be common knowledge. However, we still feel like we have to engage in a particular way that drains our energy. You trying to wake people up, as I've been talking about this for days. You trying to wake people up that are not asking to be woken up is a waste of time. Because they're not qualified to even comprehend esoteric truth. You can tell somebody the truth directly and it still go over their head because they're not qualified to understand. Why? Because they have lowered themselves to a position of somebody who doesn't even care about the truth. But I guarantee, you say, hey, look at this video, so-and-so is getting exposed. Hey, look at this video, so-and-so is getting aired out. Hey, look at this video, this is what this person was really doing. They all for it. They just sit there and watch a whole hour or multiple hours of somebody getting exposed. Some type of slander, some type of backbiting, some type of argument, some type of conflict. They magically have the time to dedicate to that. And if you don't believe me, just type in anybody's name, exposed, and look at the views it has. That's what people are into, right? That's why you see so many people on here thriving off of controversy. Because that's what get people watching. People want to see the controversy. People want to see the battle. People want to see the arguments. People want to see other people get exposed because for whatever reason, what's up, Mercedes? For whatever reason, people just want to smell other people's dirty underwear. The shit is disgusting to me, but it makes perfect sense to everybody else. I'll say that one more time. For whatever reason, people are just obsessed with smelling other people's dirty laundry. But we know why that is, because this country is based in corruption. Everybody want to know, hey, what is so-and-so doing in their personal life, right? How's Ramadan going? 2 days in. Again, you gotta be built like steel to get through Ramadan. It's nothing easy. It's not easy. It is not easy. Not easy at all. It's not easy. But it's worth it because it strengthens your willpower. It clears your thoughts. It makes you able to see things more in their true state. That's what it's for. It purifies you. It purges you of all these chemicals in the body. You know what I mean? Let me see. You watch my video on porn, but with you, the more you watch, the weirder your tastes become. It's kind of like your tolerance is going up when drinking liquor. Should I continue to watch it or stop? Okay, since you brought up porn, again, I don't mind talking about these things because these are questions that are asked, especially if I'm the one who put out the material. So I have no problem answering the question. So let me put this into context, because I believe the video you're talking about is how porn leads to enlightenment. I did this video maybe back in 2014, so about 4 years ago. So let me put this into context. The whole purpose of that video was to get you thinking. What do I mean by that? Because if you take your ass to church, or if you're a part of any religion, they say, no, you should not be watching porn, right? They say you ain't supposed to be watching porn. You're not supposed to be masturbating. You're not supposed to be having sex outside of marriage, right? But nobody follows this shit. Let's make that clear. Nobody lives out that shit. But that's just what they say because they're trained to say that, even though they're not living that out. They're watching porn too, trust and believe. They fucking on the side too, trust and believe. They're not living out the same shit that's coming out of their fucking mouth. They're not living it out. They're not. So I decided, let me see if there's some type of spirituality connected to this because everybody's against it. Nobody's really open about their, what they do in their personal life, which again is their own business. What somebody does in their personal life is their own business. Whatever. But again, so everybody's just obsessed with what everybody's doing. Or what are you doing in your personal life? Why the fuck do you care? Nonetheless, let me continue. The whole premise, because again, I wanted to make a video about prostitution, about the origins of it, about the goddess that's connected to it, and how it goes back to ancient times, and back it up with literature. However, I don't feel people are ready for the truth. Not that type of truth. Because everybody already have it convinced in their mind that it's wrong. Just like everybody already have it, and again, I don't mean everybody, just 85% of the population. We would say that. Not everybody, 85%. So let me make myself clear. 85% of the population already has it convinced in their mind that these things are wrong and that you shouldn't do it, even though people do it anyway. Again, if you don't believe me, look at all the views that porn generates. Millions upon millions upon millions of views a day. So obviously, people are not standing on the words that's coming out of their own mouth. So getting back to the point. So I guess without going too deep into it, my whole premise was, do the opposite of what they're telling you to do, because they really don't even know why they say what they say. They just heard it from somebody else. They don't know why you shouldn't watch porn, because they may say, well, porn leads to masturbation, or porn leads to this. Porn pretty much leads you in the direction of, as you were just saying, it leads you to this weird place because your tastes get more and more grotesque. You know what I mean? You may just start off watching just basic sex. Then you want to see, you may want to watch toys. Women with all these toys and doing all these, just doing extra stuff. Just basic humping, and just don't even do it for you no more. Like, I don't even want to watch the penetration. It's like you just get tired of it. So you want to watch other things. The reason why your taste goes more and more left field. We'll just say the reason why your taste goes more and more left field because you're tapping into aspects of your mind that are hidden. Let me give you an example of what I mean. Again, I want to make myself perfectly clear as I can make myself. In other words, let's just say you were being initiated. We'll just use this example. Back in the day, the rites of passage, in order for you to become a man, you had to kill. Let's just say a wild animal, a lion. You had to go into the forest and kill a lion or kill a tiger. Because, you know, you go back to ancient tribes, you see that they rock the leopard skin or the tiger skin. You know what I mean? As a symbol of this is the animal I killed. This is what made me a man, and this is the skin of the animal I killed for my initiation. Right? But in today's times, that's unacceptable. You say that, yo, I went into the wild and killed a tiger, they're going to be looking at you crazy, even though everybody wants to wear this expensive clothes that's based on people going out and killing wildlife. You know what I mean? That's the expensive shit. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to wear an animal, but they're willing to pay the price to play it. They're willing to pay the high price. But if you're doing it yourself, people are going to look down at you like, yo, if you say like, yo, I just killed a tiger and I skinned it and I'm wearing the skin, people's going to look at you crazy. But they're going to look at you just fine. You wear the Gucci, you wear the Prada, the Louis Vuitton, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They're going to look at you differently. But if you walk around wearing that raw leopard skin, they're not going to look at you in the same way, especially when you say you did it, you killed and you did the whole process. They're not going to look at you like, yo, look, that's dope. You will have some people who are open-minded, but most people is going to be looking at you crazy. But they won't look at you crazy when you have that same shit on, but somebody else did it. You got somebody else's name branded on you. They won't look at you crazy then. They're going to look at you, oh, that person's successful. But if you got that raw shit on, they're going to look at you crazy. That's the backwards ass thinking we're in. So getting back to the porn. Most people are sexually insecure. Most people are sexually insecure. Let's be real. They are not even secure in their own sexuality. They don't even feel comfortable in their own bodies. So they push that poison to you. Because all porn is really just people comfortable with their sexuality. Let's just be real. Why else would you be recording yourself and putting it out on the internet if you're not comfortable with it? That's all porn is. It's just people who are comfortable enough to share their sexuality with others who are the same way. You may not necessarily be putting stuff out, but it's somebody who's comfortable enough in their own skin to share what they do in their bedroom, which is fine. But because most people are insecure, they're going to have a problem with people who are secure. Same reason why people have a problem with prostitutes selling their bodies or women who are objectifying themselves. So it ain't even got to be a prostitute. It can be a porn star. It can be a supermodel. It can be a magazine model. It can be an Instagram model. It doesn't matter. But anybody who is comfortable with their sexuality and that shows off their body and objectifies themselves, people are going to always have a problem with it. For example, again, people are going to have a problem with women getting fake breasts and fake asses and liposuction and all that, plastic surgery, lipo, I already said lipo, what is that, Botox in their lips and all this stuff. Any type of modification, people are going to have a problem with that because they say you're doing something unnatural. Little do they know this is an ancient art. You really think women just start modifying their body with plastic surgery in Hollywood? This is ancient science. Women have been modifying their body since day one. This is not nothing new, but we just see it in today's terms. But this goes back ancient times. Women have been, same thing with men. You don't think men have been trying to make their dicks bigger since the beginning of time? You don't think women have been trying to figure out ways to look more voluptuous since the beginning of time? This is not nothing new. We just see it more, just more out in the open. But this is ancient science. This is not nothing new. So again, going back to porn, why are your tastes getting more and more grotesque? Because you're activating certain centers in your brain that's allowing you to become more comfortable with the grotesque. And the more and more you become, not uncomfortable, the more and more you become comfortable with the grotesque, you can open up certain spiritual gateways. What do I mean by that? That's why I'm wearing this. You see this? It has all these keys. The key represents the opening of a gateway. I think you can see the gateway here. Whatever. So let me bring this full circle. The reason why I say porn leads to enlightenment is because it enlightens the dark aspects of your brain, because it's only so much you can do. Because again, if you look at what's going on in most people's bedrooms, it ain't much or nothing. Let's be real. Most motherfuckers are not putting in 45-minute sessions, hour-and-a-half long sessions. They're not doing it. What's up, Colin? Let's just be real. The average person out here ain't nothing special in the bedroom. Let's just be real. The average person ain't nothing special in the bedroom, man or female, or man or woman. They're nothing special. They're not fucking doing acrobatics, you know what I mean? Doing splits on the dick and all that. They ain't doing none of that shit. So when you turn on porn and you see all type of shit that you've never seen before, you didn't even know that was possible. Like, yo, I didn't even know women can do that. I ain't even, you know what I mean? You start exposing yourself to the real. Then you start to wonder, like, yo, I see why they don't want me watching this. Because they don't want me to see the real. Because once you are exposed to the real, now you're not really satisfied with the basics. You're not satisfied with a woman who basically doesn't perform oral sex. You're not gonna lower your standards for that bullshit. Like, oh, I don't perform oral. What the fuck do you mean you don't perform oral? But I'm supposed to be with you? What do you mean? So this is what you just asked. This is exactly what I'm about to get into. So how do you attract that? That's exactly that's where I was going with that anyway. So let me finish the point. Now that you expose yourself to the real, you no longer lower your standards to somebody else. Oh, I don't do this or I don't do that. You're like, all right, cool, but that's what I like. So we can say, okay, now we have this situation where now you desire certain things. You may want a woman to do the splits on you. You know what I mean? You may want a woman to suck you just hanging upside down and just doing all type of stuff. So your question is, how do you attract that? You must be comfortable with yourself. You have to be comfortable enough with your sexuality to attract somebody else who's that comfortable. You can't attract that person if you're not comfortable enough with your sexuality. Meaning you have to be willing to go as far as they go. So for example, you meet somebody who is willing to do anything or to try anything once. Okay, I'll try anything once. You have to be willing to do the same. You can't ask for something that you're not willing to give yourself. That's the whole point. We have to become more, I'm not going to say open, just more comfortable with our sexuality, but that comes from getting your body on point, being in shape. Because how are you supposed to do all these sexual acrobatics when you're not in shape? It's not possible. So you have to, it's a lifestyle. In other words, so let me simplify it, it's a lifestyle. So it may start off where you're just watching porn on the screen. But if you are trying to actually live out that life, where you want to go deeper into your own sexuality, and again, you have to take out that element of your mind that you're being judged. Because again, you may like some real weird shit that if you tell somebody else, they're gonna look at you crazy. But that's why you keep your mouth shut. You don't need to say what you like. That's your personal business. Whatever it is that you do in the bedroom is your business. You don't need to reveal that to anybody. That's nobody else's business. So therefore, nobody should know what you're doing in the bedroom anyway. But getting back to the point, you start off watching porn on a screen, but now you want to live out that lifestyle. And in order for you to live out that lifestyle, because this is essentially where I was going with this whole conversation anyway, because the last point I wanted to make was the point of the human body and the secrets of the human body. So this is why I'm talking about the human body. We just talking about it from the aspect of porn. No problem. Again, I can talk about it because I'm not trying to be anything I'm not. I'm not coming before you as a so-called black leader and this is what we need to do as a people. You know what I mean? I don't have to hold up that standard. So I can talk to you and have a real conversation with you without feeling no type of way about it. Like, oh, I shouldn't be talking about that. I talk about whatever the fuck I want to talk about. And you see it throughout my whole channel. I talk about what nobody else is talking about. The whole time. You know what I mean? But that's just, this is what I've been doing. I'm already about this. So just me expressing my own personal things and my own personal, again, with this whole channel, most people are not even comfortable doing this. It takes a certain level of courage to even do this. It's a little more than just a person talking to a camera. But let's get back to the point. So you are exposed to all this stuff, watching all this porn. Now you want to live out this lifestyle. But that's what it is. It is a lifestyle. If you break down porn, the letters of porn, you're going to end up with the number 9, which is the energy of Mars. Oh, you know what I mean? Which makes perfect sense, which is pure masculine energy, right? Makes perfect sense. So it is a lifestyle. Meaning if you want to live out those fantasies, you have to live out that lifestyle. Again, that requires you to be in shape. That requires you to be comfortable in your sexuality. That requires you to be comfortable enough to convey your desires to another person. That requires you to be open, because they may want to try something that you never even heard about. You know what I mean? You go to different parts of the world, they're into different things. That's what you should do. I suggest, and I'm pretty sure you have, watch porn from all over the world. What's up, what's up, what's up? Watch porn from all over the world. Asian porn is different than American porn. What's up, what's up? Peace, 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 peace. What's up, Callie? Peace, peace. Asian porn is different than American porn. American porn is different than South American porn. South American porn is different than Russian porn. Russian porn is different than Italian porn. Italian porn is different than African porn, etc., so on and so forth. You go all over the world, they're into different things, right? What if they do it with you, then start making fun of you afterwards? Because my ex did. Now she's telling everyone, fuck your ex. Fuck that bitch. So what that she's telling everybody? Are you comfortable enough? I don't give a fuck what you did. I don't give a fuck what you did. You shouldn't give a fuck about what you did. Now, again, you can say, okay, you have certain women who, that's exactly what I was saying in the beginning of the video. You got certain people who would try to get you to reveal certain information, then they're telling everybody. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? If you're comfortable enough walking around with your dick hanging out, then who the fuck cares? That actually make that. Okay, let me slow down. That might actually make other women more interested in you. Oh shit, he's into that shit. Maybe I need to get up with this dude. See, it's not always a negative thing just because people are telling your business. But that's what I mean. If you are comfortable with yourself, who cares? And who is everybody? What, she's telling your mom? You know what I mean? Who is everybody? Oh, she's telling your sister? Who cares? Oh, like so-and-so, he's into this. So what? Am I asking what you're doing in your bedroom? That's all you got to say. Like, yo, am I asking you about what you're doing in your bedroom? So why are you concerned with what I'm doing in my bedroom? Why is that news? Why is that gossip? Because like I said in the beginning of the video, this is what the country is built off of. Everybody is just so concerned with everybody else's dirty laundry. Everybody else is just so concerned with other people's dirty laundry. That's just what, you know what I mean? Motherfuckers will talk for hours talking about, you know, what somebody else is doing in the bedroom. Who the fuck cares? Who the fuck cares? Who cares? But you have to not care. It ain't even about nobody else. You have to not care. You have to be comfortable enough in your sexuality where you can go outside butt naked and be just fine. Just like a child. Like a child who doesn't even understand the concept of you need to cover up. They'll go right outside. A little child will go right outside butt ass naked and don't feel no type of way. Right? Exactly. It's good publicity. There we go. Good publicity. There we go. You have to get to that stage where you can be in front of 500 people and reveal your innermost secrets and feel just fine. Because it just like, so what? But that's my point. The more and more your tastes get grotesque, again, you may want to try some disgusting shit. Who the fuck cares? If you get somebody who wants to try it with you, it is what it is. Which, again, what you do in your personal time is nobody else's business. And if people want to make it their business, then so what? They're just giving you energy. Let them give you all the energy they want to give you. You know what I mean? Because you really need to ask yourself, why is it so important that they tell everybody? What is that going to do? What, that's going to ruin your reputation? Not really. You got motherfucking drug dealers out here. You got motherfucking pimps out here. You got prostitutes out here. You think they give a fuck about their reputation? Let's just be real. That's why people hate these type of individuals. People don't hate pimps and prostitutes and drug dealers because of what they do. They hate them because they're comfortable enough to stand on their truth. That's why people hate them. Not because of their profession. Is that, like, you know what I mean? A woman wish she can stand out on the corner and she got men throwing all type of money at her. And all she got to do is do a 5-minute session because most motherfuckers are not sexually trained. All she got to do is hop in this dude's car for 5 minutes and she just made $500. She got to hop in this car for 10, 15 minutes. She just made $1,000. Women wish they can do something like that. Now, because we're in a so-called religious society, that's wrong. You're not supposed to be selling your body. Fuck you. Because you're not making that type of money. You got bitches out here making $1,000 a night, performing sexual favors because they're comfortable enough with their sexuality. Who else is making that a night? I don't give a fuck if you work in corporate America. You ain't making that type of money. But it requires a certain level of courage. It requires a certain level of self-confidence to be able to do that and be comfortable with yourself and then not destroy you because you think you're doing something wrong. Again, that's why people hate these type of individuals. Oh, the porn industry just filled with a bunch of AIDS-infested people. Yada, yada, yada. Everybody's going to have whatever type of view they have on it. It's because they're already programmed to think that way. That's not original thought. You hating prostitutes and pimps and people who are self-confident, that's not an original thought. That's what you've been programmed to think by your fucking parents or whoever the fuck raised you. But it is what it is. Again, if you are comfortable enough with your sexuality, then it doesn't matter who else knows what you're doing. Again, look at all these porn stars. You got male porn stars allowing women to penetrate them with dildos. I'm pretty sure whoever watched porn, you've seen this shit before. You think they give a fuck about what people think? You're literally on camera allowing a woman to penetrate you with a dildo. On camera, getting paid for that. You think they give a fuck about what people think? You think they give a fuck about a person walking up to them and saying like, yo, I saw you getting penetrated by a woman, ha, ha, ha. Like, I got paid too. You know what I mean? Like, you know me, I don't know who the fuck you are. What is you doing? Let me see how your woman looks. Let me see how comfortable you are with your sexuality. But when you start trying to air out their dirty laundry, they can't last. Like, yo, at least I'm open with it. Let's see what you do. Can you satisfy your woman for a 30-minute session? I don't think so. So everybody wants to laugh at, oh, look at what this person is doing, they're exposed. But when you start to look at who they really are behind closed doors, it's not nothing. They can't do anything close to it. Why? Because you're like, yo, why was you even watching that shit? You know what I mean? Yo, it's all good, bro. I appreciate it. Nah, more people don't really need to see it because, again, 85% of the population is never going to even understand this type of thinking. But fuck them. Who cares? Who cares? You know what I mean? I'll walk around this bitch with my dick swinging, and I guarantee I'll pick up a bitch. It's like, again, if you're that confident, you can walk outside butt naked and pick up a woman because you got that much confidence. Trust and believe. Raise up your confidence and your sexual IQ. You will have no problem pulling women because they're looking for men that's like that anyway. What woman don't want to be pleased by a man for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour and a half? They'd be lying to you if they didn't want that. They'd be lying to you that they don't want somebody who physically take care of themselves, who's open to experimenting with new things. They'd be lying if they say they don't want that. They'd be lying to say that, oh, they just want some regular shit. They'd be lying. Again, porn wouldn't be getting so many views, millions upon millions a day, if people wanted normal shit. That's why people watch porn. Let's just be real. People watch porn because they want that. Otherwise, you wouldn't watch it. Why are you watching it? If you don't want it, you wouldn't care to watch it. That's the point. So again, we don't need to worry about being exposed. We don't need to worry about people understanding it. And again, like dealing with people who want to do something and they expose you, like, who the fuck cares? What are you gonna do? But that's what I mean. People get off to exposing other people as if they're doing some type of justice. When like, yo, you're smelling somebody else's dirty laundry and you're just getting off to it. That shit is psychedelic to them. That's the mainstream people. Their psychedelic isn't LSD or acid or DMT or shrooms. Their psychedelic is smelling other people's dirty laundry. That's what gets them off. Because if you tell them like, yo, let's have sex while on acid, oh, I'm not doing that. Let's have sex while popping E-pills, oh, I'm not doing that. But they have hour-long conversations about what somebody else is doing in their bedroom. A whole psychedelic trip. They have a whole psychedelic trip off of somebody else's dirty laundry. You know what I mean? So let's just be real. Let's just be real. You know what I mean? Like, this is just the reality of it. So I encourage everybody, because again, that's the last point I wanted to make, was pretty much, that's essentially what I was going to say anyway, just about the human body. The true secret is the human body. We still don't know the innermost secrets of the human body. I don't give a fuck if you went to school and you got a degree on human anatomy. If you a fucking doctor with letters behind your name. They only going to teach you what they want to teach you. They're not teaching you the reality. Again, you go to any doctor, most doctors, I'm not going to say any doctor, 85% of the doctors will not acknowledge urine therapy as a tool for healing. They will not acknowledge that, even though it is. Even though that is actual fact and it has been proven. And anybody who wants it to be proven, you can do it your goddamn self and prove it to yourself. It is a proven fact, but 85% of the doctors you will go to would not acknowledge that as a form of therapy. But they acknowledge those pills that they prescribe you as therapy, which doesn't heal anything. That's a form of healing, but it don't heal anything. It just numbs your body so that you don't feel the pain, and it slowly kills you. But urine therapy will actually dissolve the mucus. Most people got all this mucus stuck in their throat. You start sipping on that urine therapy, it dissolves all that. All that gets dissolved, all that extra mucus gets dissolved. It starts decalcifying the pineal gland. You know what I mean? So that's why I say, who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck about an ignorant person who's just spewing ignorance? Idiots spewing ignorance. Who cares? That you do not define yourself by an idiot. Don't allow these idiots to define you. Again, I don't care. If you a man and you like being penetrated with fucking dildos, that's nobody else's business. It's nobody else's business about whoever you and whoever's in the bedroom with you. That's nobody else's business. Again, if you're gay, on whatever side, male or female, that is nobody else's fucking business. It's just what you do in your personal time is your business. And as long as you keep it that way, and you are comfortable, whatever it is that you do, whatever it is that you're into, whatever fetishes that you're into is your business, you explore as in-depthly as you can. Explore. I encourage everybody to explore their sexuality to the maximum. Fulfill all of your fantasies because you're doing it for you and your soul and your spirit. You're not doing it for nobody else. You're doing it for your soul and your spirit, whatever that may be. And all porn is doing is opening you up to experiment further. Because if you see something that you never seen before, and it sparks your interest, then so be it. Live it out, if that's what you choose to do. And don't worry about public opinion, because public opinion is irrelevant. You know what I mean? Public opinion is irrelevant. That's the whole point. Public opinion is irrelevant. The public opinion may be the majority, but these people are idiots, meaning that they're ignorant. They have no knowledge of who and what they really are. They think of themselves or everybody else, oh, I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, I'm a truck driver, I'm a teacher. You're not none of that. That's what you do. That's not who you are. People don't even know how to define themselves. If you ask the average person, who are you? Now, I'm not asking your name. I say, who are you? Not who, I'm not besides your name, because they might say their name. Okay, my name is this, or my name is John. I'm a doctor, or I'm this, or I'm that. That's what the average person will answer. They speak about their profession. My name is this is my profession. They're not going to say like, yo, I am that I am. I am that I am. That's not going to be their response. Or, I'm the supreme ruler of the universe. They're not going to say that. I'm God. I'm the goddess. I'm Allah. They're not going to say that. I'm the real Jesus. They're not going to say that. Oh, no, I'm a truck driver. I'm a construction worker. That's just the reality of it. So these are the people that you care about, opinions. People who are identifying themselves by their professions, but not who they really, because they don't know who they really are. They don't know. So these people's opinions are irrelevant because they don't even know who they are. If you know who you are, people who don't know who they are, opinions should be irrelevant because like, yo, you don't even know who you are. You walking around here not even knowing your true power. You walking around here not even healing people. You call yourself a doctor, but you ain't healing nobody. You prescribing pills that numb people out, that slowly kills them because you're not solving any problem. But they'll go around parading that shit like they're somebody important. Like, yo, you're not healing nobody. You're not doing nothing constructive at all. But again, we're in a capitalistic society, so you got people with inflated egos thinking that they're doing something. What the fuck are you? Oh, you a lawyer? With a corrupted law? You helping people that are actually doing some horrific shit to people, who's hurting other people? But who gives a fuck, right? I suggest everybody to stop worrying about public opinion because it's irrelevant. Do I look like I'm worried about public opinion? I'm walking around with a fucking bandana around my face. Do I look like I give a fuck what anybody says? I'm walking, you know what I mean? Do I look like I give a fuck? I walk down this whole fucking street with this on. Let me not start talking reckless, right? But let me say this. Like, I dare somebody to say anything to me. That's the whole point, right? But nobody's gonna say anything to me because they're gonna look at me like, yo, they're not brave enough to get out of their car and ask a question. Like, yo, what are you doing? The cops may say something, but they can't stop you. Like, yo, you can't wear that. Fuck out of here. Wear the fuck I want to wear. I'm cold. I'm covering up. I have a cold. I don't want to fucking sneeze. You know, you can say whatever you want to say. Can't nobody stop you from doing nothing. But if people can mentally have you defeated and make you feel less than, and just don't allow yourself to get caught up in that. Don't allow yourself to be influenced by people who don't even know who they are. Because you will start to mimic your lifestyle around theirs. And again, all they do is project illusions. And I'll end with this final point. This is why social media is the way it is, because we are in the times of social media, right? Everybody wants to display an illusion. Nobody's really portraying their real life. Everybody is trying to fake and to be something they're not. You're not going to see people when they're down and depressed. They don't post, right? They don't post when they fucked up. They post when they feel good about themselves, when they got their hair done, when they got their makeup on, when they got their Gucci on. You know what I mean? They'll show you all day, you know, whatever car they drive and however they live. They'll show you that all day. But any regular shit, like on some just regular shit, they're not going to show you that. Everybody's trying to promote this illusion of who they're not, because that's what sells. Again, it's all about capitalism. People are trying to market themselves. People are trying to brand themselves, so they're only going to show you their best side. They're not going to show you a picture of them when they first got out of bed. You're not going to see them till they walk out the house and they're already, you know what I mean, they already presenting themselves. Not a problem. Make your money. Again, I'm not here to hate on nobody. Make your money if that's what you do, but you're not going to see people in their real state. You're just not going to see it. So social media has people fooled to think that this is who people really are. You know, but to each his own. To each his own. Just know who you are. Don't allow yourself to be influenced by social media, by public opinion. Live out whatever fantasies that you choose to live out. If that's what you choose to do, it just is what it is. Because you're doing it for yourself, your soul, and when you drop this human body, you're not going to come back here because you didn't live it out. And I'll end with that. That's why you do it. That's why you explore your fantasies, because everybody else wants to do the same thing, but they don't have enough courage to. And that's why they will have to come back to this bitch after they die, because they're going to be unfulfilled. Like, man, I wanted to do this, I wanted to do that, but I never got to it because I was afraid of what people may think. I wanted to try this out, I wanted to go in this particular path, but you never got around to it because you were afraid of what people may say, what people may think. Or you had to live your whole life in the background. You were secretly this, but never came out in the open because you were afraid of public opinion. That's how people have to repeat lifetime after lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, because they're not true to themselves. They're not true to themselves, so they got to repeat till they get it right, till they realize, like, you know what, damn. My spirit and my soul was more important than anybody's opinion. And I was supposed to live out my truth, whatever that may be. I was supposed to live out a particular lifestyle. But I settled for a degree or a certificate. And I was, you know what I mean, to secure my bag. You know what I mean? That over trumped, or that trumped who and what they really was, because they wanted to secure the bag, which is fine. To each his own. But I'm just letting you know, if you're not trying to go through this cycle, I'm talking about the greater plan. Most people just focus on the monetary gain. Again, their bills. I'm talking about the shit that everybody has to pay, but that cannot be an excuse why you don't live out your truth. Because you had to pay bills or you had kids to take care of it. Everybody has kids, everybody has bills. Everybody has the same responsibilities, goddammit. Like, everybody is going through life. You know what I mean? So, live out your truth so that you don't have to repeat it. Because you will not be able to escape this prison until you live out your truth. I guarantee that. You will not be able to escape this prison until you are confident enough to live out your truth. That's when you start opening up spiritual gateways. Because I guarantee, the more grotesque your tastes become, now you attract certain spirits. Because this is the truth, and I'll end with this. The true reason why people don't want people to watch other porn is because when you open your mind up, when you open up that gateway, you draw certain spirits and energies to yourself. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. That's a bad thing to a religious person. Ghosts and demons and deities, they don't know nothing about the spirit realm. All that is evil to them. All that is witchcraft to them. So yeah, you can say porn is a form of witchcraft. Porn is a form of sorcery. If you want to look at it, that wouldn't necessarily be incorrect. So it draws certain energies to you, it opens up certain gateways, and it draws, again, it opens you up to living out that truth. Because again, for anybody who's ever met a porn star, for anybody who's ever met a prostitute, anybody who's in the sex trade, and had a conversation with them and just felt their energy, you would know that they are surrounded by energies that are beyond the physical. Now, how they handle that, it can destroy some people if you're not grounded in your spirituality, because everybody's not grounded in their spirituality to be able to handle that. But there are some people that are. But again, that's like black magic. You can say porn is black magic, dark magic. That's why they're against it, because it's the real shit. It really do open up portals and gateways. This goes back to ancient times and secret societies when they will be performing sex magic and sex rituals and having orgies. Just do your history. Just do your history. The initiations of Dionysus. You know what I mean? Just do your history. Just do your history. Goes back to ancient times, but it was always underground. Read the book, The Gnostic. Check out what the Gnostics was doing back in the day. Having all type of orgies, doing all type of grotesque shit that most people would just cringe at. But that's what they was on. Just do your research. Again, I gave you some references. Just do your research and you see what the real world is and why porn was invented and why it still exists and why it gathers so much energy. That's the reason it does. That's why everybody hates it. That's why they don't want you around it. But if you're already spiritual and you're not afraid of the black magic, then it is what it is. So I'll leave it at that. You know, I'll probably see y'all a little bit later once the sun come up. Or if I don't see you when the sun come up, I'll see y'all when the sun go back down. So again, for everybody who is observing Ramadan, much success to you. You know what I mean? Definitely purge yourself of the bullshit. Purify your soul. Purify your mind and purify your body so that you can see the real and that you can experience the true spirituality that is ever present all around us. So we out. Peace.